Dear students, so today we will be discussing the new chapter, that is inheritance. So we already studied the definition of inheritance and object-oriented programming concept. So here inheritance is nothing but it is a mechanism in which one class acquires the properties of another class. For example, if I consider students, that is PUC students. So next I can consider BSc students. Here PUC students have roll number and name. Even BSc students also have roll number and name. So roll number and name are the common properties for both PUC as well as BSc students. Or if you consider any degree, or if you consider high school, or if you consider any students. Okay, so these two properties are common. Suppose if I write one program, one class for PUC students, so compulsory I can declare the roll number and name. In the same way, BSc students, at the time of writing the BSc student class, again I can declare the roll number and name. So totally, two times I can return roll number and name. Instead of writing the two times, so just I can declare, or just I can create one class, that is student class. In the student class I can declare roll number and name. In the student class, generally I can create the one class, that is the student class. In the student class I can declare roll number and name. At the time of defining the PUC student class, I can access it from the student class. In the same way, BSc students to students. So presently in the student class, one time I can declare roll number and name. In the PUC student, one time roll number and name can be used. In the same way, BSc student class also roll number and name can be used. Here, inheritance means acquiring the properties. For the student class, here roll number and name are the properties. One class acquires the properties of another class. See here, PUC student is a one class, it acquires the properties of the student class. So this is nothing but the inheritance. Then why we have to study what is the advantage of using the inheritance? The first main advantage of using the inheritance is reusability. See here, roll number and name can be declared only one time, but these two properties can be used more than one time. Without inheritance also, it is possible to write the class, it is possible to write the program. But the problem is, every time you can declare the properties, here roll number and name for PUC students. In the same way, you can declare roll number and name for the BSc students. Separately, you can declare the variables and you can use those variables. But if you are using the inheritance means whatever the properties can be mentioned in one class, those properties can be used more than one time. So that is the main advantage of using the inheritance. The definition of inheritance is, it is a mechanism, or it acquires the properties from one class to the another class. Then what are the advantages? Advantages. The first advantage is reusability. Second one is memory management. Third one is faster development time. Fourth one is reduces the program code. See, yes, first one is reusability. So here the roll number and name are declared only one time, but those properties can be used. In this example, two times roll number and name can be used. That is the one advantage of using the inheritance. Second one is memory management. It utilizes the memory properly. Suppose if you are declaring roll number and name for the PUC students separately and for BSc students separately, it requires more memory. But here only one time is you are declared. Just you can access. If you want the PUC student information, you can access it from the student. It means that the memory will be utilized properly. It saves the memory. That is also a one advantage of using the inheritance. So third one is faster development time. So if you are implementing the inheritance means it will take less time as compared to the normal. As compared to the normal program, it will take less time to write the program because the common properties can be already declared, already defined. It is easy to extend. Another one is easy to extend. Easy to extend. Faster development means it reduces the code. As well as if the code is reduced means obviously the development of the software or program is fast. And easy to extend. Here the roll number and name are common properties. At the time of defining the PUC class, I cannot declare roll number and name. Just I have to mention the board of the PUC and I have to mention the subject. In the BSc students, I cannot declare roll number and name. Just I have to mention the university. Just I have to mention the subjects. Okay. Only changing properties can be mentioned separately, but the common properties are mentioned only one time. So these five are the advantages of inheritance. And in the inheritance, so I already told that, so acquiring the properties from one class to the another class. Okay, the existing class or the first class is called as base class. Base class. Base class, or it is also called as super class. Super class. Base class or super class. The second class, the new class or the second class is called as the derived class. Derived class or subclass. Subclass. Okay. Base class or super class means the properties, it is the class whose properties are inherited to the other class. So whatever the properties are mentioned in the base class or super class, these properties are inherited to another class. So then what is the derived class? The class which acquires the properties from the other class. So this is the inheritance and its advantages. Okay. Next is types of inheritance. It is very important for 5 marks again in this chapter. So there will be a 5 marks question. Again the chapter is very easy and maximum time in the examination they will ask what are the types of inheritance. Okay. So in inheritance there are 5 types. First one is single level inheritance. Single level inheritance. First one is single level inheritance. So second one is multi level inheritance. Third one is multiple inheritance. Fourth one is hierarchical inheritance. Fifth one is hybrid inheritance. Okay. So these 5 are the types of inheritance. So first one is single level inheritance. So here the single level inheritance means it consists of one base class and one derived class. Okay, single level inheritance means it consists of only one base class and one derived class. Okay, so for example, here A and here B. So this is the diagram, or this is the simple diagram to represent the single level inheritance. Here A is there, here B is there. So here A is called as base class. The first class is always the base class and the second class is always derived class. Here B can access the properties of A. So single level inheritance means the class or the program consists of only one base class as well as one derived class. That is nothing but the single level inheritance. Second one is multi-level inheritance. See here, multi-level means here A is there, here B is there, here C is there. So this is first one and this is the second one. So first I will explain diagram, then it is easy to write a definition. Okay. Here A is called as a base class, even B is called as a derived class. For A, this is derived. Then for C, what about the B? For C, this one is again base class. Here multi-level inheritance means the class is derived from another derived class. Here C is purely the derived class. The class is derived from another derived class. So B is already derived. With the help of this derived class, again we have to derive another class. That is nothing but the multi-level inheritance. And this B is also called as intermediate class. Intermediate class. So why it is intermediate means because this B class can act as base class for the C and derived class for the A. And this is the multi-level inheritance. Single level means it consists of only one base class as well as one derived class. In multi-level means the class is derived from another derived class. Okay, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. See here, multiple inheritance. Here A is a base class, even B is also a base class, and C is the derived class. Okay, see here multiple inheritance means a class is derived from more than one base classes. Here A is a one base class and B is a another base class. In this example, I can write only the two base classes. Okay, a class is derived from more than one base classes. That is nothing but the multiple inheritance. If you consider D, again this is also a multiple inheritance. A class is derived from more than one base class. Minimum two, maximum it depends on the program or it depends on the situation to implement the inheritance. Okay, so this is nothing but the multiple inheritance. Fourth one is hierarchical inheritance. See here, hierarchical means it is exactly opposite to the multiple. See here, if you reverse this one means it is multiple inheritance. Okay, hierarchical inheritance means a class is derived from or n number of classes or more than one classes derived from single base class. Here the multiple inheritance means a class is derived from more than one base classes. Here n number of classes are derived from single base class. So this is nothing but the hierarchical inheritance. Here A is the base class and B and C are nothing but the derived class. Okay. Last one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. See here. Hybrid inheritance means it is a combination of hierarchical and multiple inheritance. So if you consider A, B, C, it is a hierarchical inheritance. If you consider B, C, D, it is a multiple inheritance. So hybrid inheritance means it is a combination of multiple as well as hierarchical inheritance. Okay. So there are 5 types of inheritance. In the examination, simply they have to ask what is inheritance and explain the types of inheritance. Okay. But the definition is very simple. Okay. First you can write one line definition. So after that compulsory we can draw the diagrams. You can write any example. Here I can mention A and B. You can mention any character or you can consider person or for first you can consider father and son. Inheritance means properties can be one class can access the properties of other class. Okay, here father and son. Father acts as a base class and son acts as a derived class. Okay, you can write the particular examples. Otherwise, directly you can write the directly you can draw the diagram and you have to mention any character and in each box just put one arrow mark. You have to mention the which class it is. Either it may be the base class or it may be the derived class. Okay. So this is completely about the types of inheritance. Then how to write the derived class? Next is syntax for defining derived class. Syntax for defining the derived class. So just you can write the syntax: class, derived class name, colon, see here. So this is the syntax for defining the derived class. So first you can write the class. So after that you have to write the derived class name. Here you have to mention any name. Derived class name means any name, but it must follow the identifier rules. Either you can give the sample or either you can give your name. So whatever you want, you can give the name. So after that, so you can put colon. Here colon is used to inherit the properties. Okay. Next is visibility mode. Here visibility mode indicates access control specifier, that is private, public or protected. Then it means that so if you are inheriting the properties, either privately you are inheriting or publicly you are inheriting or protectedly you are inheriting, that can be decided by the visibility mode. Okay. Next here you have to mention the base class name. So before defining the derived class, first we need to define the base class. Okay. After that we can define the derived class. So here you have to mention the base class name. So this is the syntax for defining the derived class. Okay. So visibility mode means The base class properties are either privately inherited or publicly inherited or protectedly inherited. At least any one we have to mention here, and don't mention private comma public comma protected. Any one we have to mention here. So after that you can put the base class name. So this is the syntax for defining the visibility mode. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss the examples. Okay, thank you.